Hi everyone! I hope you're having fun at home and I hope you're staying safe. Today I have another reading lesson for you. This week we've been learning about fairy tales. In the beginning of the week we read Cinderella, and yesterday we read Jack and the Beanstalk. So let me remind you more about fairy tales. Fairy tales have good characters and bad characters. Fairy tales also have magic. They have a setting. And they have a beginning, middle, and end. We already talked about characters and magic, and we went over the beginning, middle, and end. So today, we're going to focus on setting. Now, if you remember from a while ago, we talked about setting. Setting is where the story takes place. So sometimes your story can take place in a house, it could take place at a park, maybe in a castle, maybe in the ocean, and there's a lot of other places too. So when we read Cinderella, we could say that the setting was at Prince Charming's castle, or we could say it was at Cinderella's house. Today, we're going to look through Jack and the Beanstalk again, and we're going to figure out where the settings are. So let's look back at the story now. So here's the first page. If you look here, we can see that Jack is with the old man. He's getting beans here, but we don't really know where he is. We know he's outside, but we don't know exactly where. So we're not going to really count this as a setting. So let's go to the next page. Now we can see Jack is in his house, right? He's in his house with his mom, and she's throwing beans out the window. So he's at the house, and you can see here he's still in his house because if you look right here, you can see he's looking out the window. So this might be a setting that he goes back to in the story. Let's keep looking and see how often he's at his house. He's not at his house here. Look, that's when he's in the beanstalk. And that's when he's going to the castle. So he's not at his house here. Not there. Not at the house. But look here. This is when he goes back to his house after he steals the coins. Then he goes back to the castle. Now he's back home again with the goose. In the castle again. Castle. And here you can see the house is right here. So he's probably back at his house again. And if we go to the very last page, he's at his house one more time. So you could probably guess he was at the house a lot because we saw him there. So that's going to be one of our settings, the house. So now I'm going to go back to I'm going to fill out this paper right here. And this says setting number 1. So I'm going to draw a picture of Jack's house. But do I know what Jack's house looks like? They showed a little bit of it. Right here, you can see the inside, but I'm not really sure what it looks like on the outside. You can see a little bit here. There's the window. That doesn't really give us a good view. So let's see if there's any more good pictures of his house. Not there. Let's see, here's a little bit of the inside again, but we still don't know what it looks like on the outside. Let's keep looking. He's on the inside again. Let's see. Here we can see a little bit of the house down here, but it still doesn't give us a really good picture. So sometimes when we're drawing a setting, sometimes we might not know what it looks like, and we have to kind of use our imaginations. So if we go back to the picture on the inside of his house, let's figure out if he lives in like a really nice house or if it's kind of like just a regular old house. If you look here, you can see the window there. There's the floor. Let's look back here again. There's another window. There's a table, a chair. Here again, there's another stool and there's a window. And if you look on the outside, does it look like a big fancy house that he lives in? Does he live in like a castle? No, he doesn't like live in a big fancy castle like that. That's not where he lives. He lives down here. So I'm just going to draw a regular old house. Nothing too fancy. So let's see if I can draw this. So I'm going to draw a house. I'm going to draw a door right here. I'm going to draw a window. I'm drawing a window because remember in the story, Jack's mom threw the beans out the window, so I know there's a window in his house, so I have to include that. I'm gonna draw some grass. I'm gonna color in the house too. Okay, I'm gonna color in the house brown. In the story, you could see it was kind of like a light brown kind of color. Okay, I'm almost done. I'm gonna color on the roof too. Okay, there's his house. I'm gonna draw some grass. I'm gonna draw a big beanstalk too, because in the middle of the story, we know that there's a beanstalk outside of his house now. So let me draw a big beanstalk. There you go. Okay, and I'm gonna draw Jack. I'm gonna go draw Jack outside of his house. There's Jack. So that's the first setting, because we looked in our story and we saw that he was at the house a lot. Now there's one more setting. Can you guess what the setting is? Let's find out. So here he's at his house again. Now he's climbing up the beanstalk. And let's see. What does he see right here? He's looking at what? What do you think that is? That's probably where the giant lives, right? Let's see. Now here he's talking to the giant's wife. Now he's inside the castle. Right here. And he's still inside the castle. Now he's outside the castle. He's at home again. We already said that was a setting. Now he's in the castle again. And now he goes back one more time. And then he leaves, and that's when the giant starts chasing him. So you can tell just by looking at the pictures and by listening to the story again, you know that he was in the castle a lot too. So that's another one of our settings, because that's where some of the story took place. So I'm going to draw down here. Down here, my second setting is going to be the castle. But let me look back in the story again. Let's see if we can figure out what the castle looks like. Remember, with Jack's house, it was kind of hard to figure out what it looked like because there wasn't a good picture. But there might be a good picture of the castle here. Let's look. There's a little bit of the castle. See it? There's a little bit, but I need a little bit more. Let's see. Ooh, that's a really good one, right? You can see the castle nice and clear right there. Sometimes when you read a story, it shows the setting and you know exactly what it looks like, but sometimes you kind of have to guess. So with Jack's castle, or with Jack's house, we guessed what it looked like on the outside, but with the castle, we can tell right here that's exactly what it looks like. So now, I'm going to try to draw a castle. Let's see how this goes. Let me see. Okay. Now I'm going to draw the castle nice and big because I know castles are usually big. They're really fancy looking. Okay, now I'm going to draw a little tower like that. Another tower. I'm going to draw a couple more. I'm going to draw little squares here. I'm going to draw a big tower right here. Ooh, it's going to be really big. I'm going to draw little windows too. Big door on the outside. I'm going to draw a little path too. Okay, there's my castle. I'm going to color it. Let me see if I have it gray. I'll color it black. There we go. I'll do a nice light black. What do you think? Does my castle look like the giant in the story? Or does it look a little bit different? When you do this, it's okay if it doesn't look perfect. You just have to try your best to make it look like the setting in the story. And like I said, sometimes you don't even know what the setting looks like. You have to guess. But in this case, we know exactly what the castle looks like. Almost done. What do you think? Does it look good? I know I'm not the best drawer, but I'm trying. Okay. There's the castle. Now I'm not going to draw grass because let's look at our picture one more time. Let's double check. Missed a little spot there. Let's double check. Was the castle on the ground or was the castle in the air? Let's look back in our story. Let's see. You can see here he climbed up the beanstalk and he's at the top there, and it looks like the trail kind of goes this way. But what is the castle on? Can you see it? Might be a little tough to see. Let me zoom in a little bit. What does it look like down here? It's not grass. What do you think? It looks like the castle's in the sky on like clouds. So I'm gonna go back in my picture. I want to see if I can add some clouds. Maybe look like it's on the clouds. Let's see. There you go. So, we are done. We figured out the first setting in Jack and the Beanstalk was at Jack's house because that's where he is a lot. He started in his house, but then he went to the castle and he kind of switched back and forth. But they are both really, really important places in the story. And the story took place in Jack's house and it took place in the castle. At home this week, I want you to keep reading fairy tales, and I want you to think about the setting, and I want you to do just what I did. When you read a fairy tale, I want you to draw a picture of the setting to show where the story took place. Remember, the setting could be at a house, it could be at a park, a castle, or an ocean. Usually in fairy tales, though, a setting is probably a castle or a house, like in Jack and the Beanstalk or in Cinderella. Okay, I hope you had fun. You did a great job today. Keep reading. Bye.